everybody, welcome. This is my A to C Stitch with me number 60, and we reached a new tier. If you're math and gaming person, you might understand the joke with that. But jokes aside, this is A to C Stitch with me. This is a series where I have stitched everything while filming. And I talk about a lot of different stuff. I talk a lot about my stitching. I talk a lot about what I am stitching when I'm actually stitching it, showing different things and methods you can use. So we're now at the third part we're stitching, but it's the 8th part in the series. It's the Frosty Forest series by Country Cottage Needlework, and part 8 is Snowy Reindeer and will look like this. And this has a lot of similarities to part 2, which is over there. So, if you want to know more details about this series and stuff like that, I recommend you go and watch the first episodes. And if you don't care and just want to have a nice stitch with me, then just keep following along. It's okay. I'm not gonna chase you away. So, last time we stitched a lot of snowflakes. Had some issues with the one-stranded loop method. But that's okay. We managed to survive. And persevere. Today I hope to get a little bit more snowflakes done and then start stitching on the tree, the tallest tree over on this side. Being zoomed in is usually hard to point with my fingers because they're so big in front of the camera when zoomed in. Like, I don't have that big of a finger. Like, this is compared to a 32 count. Like, it's not huge. I actually have very small hands, but when you zoom in, they do look a lot bigger. Nope, there's something wrong here. Did I misplace my stitch last time? Misplace where I started my stitch? Because I did this at the end of the last recording. And I had marked off where I parked the floss, but still it's not lining up with where it was supposed to be. So again, if it's either this stitch is wrong or yeah, it's wrong. It's in the wrong place. That's the problem. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start on this stitch instead, just because that's easier to count to. And I did a half of a pin stitch there because I didn't want the floss to go directly down here. Trying to get it to go a little bit on the diagonal on the back. Okay. Now it looks like we're getting somewhere. What happened here? Okay. Not a big fan of these kinds of snowflakes that has a lot of like it spreads out instead of it building more into each other all around. But they look pretty okay when done. Not too bad looking. It's not my favorite snowflakes, but they're good looking snowflakes. And for some reasons, every time I stitch snowflakes, I get the song Let It Go in my head. Like it's not necessarily a bad thing having Let It Go in my head. It's just, I don't know, annoying when I'm filming because I don't want to sit and sing and film at the same time. And I know a lot of people doesn't like Let It Go, but I'm one of those that really like the song Let It Go. And for me, that song has a really deep meaning to it for me. So yeah, it's a good song. I just don't want to sit and sing it right now on camera. So, have you any nice plans for your stitching tonight? Usually I put these out on Friday, so if you're watching this when it's being uploaded and in the US, then you still have Friday night party to think about stitching what you want to do. Maybe you already are sitting down for your Friday party and they're stitching. I do hope that it's something fun and enjoyable, because that's what Friday stitching parties is all about. Having fun and enjoy stitching. This is a special looking snowflake. A little bit like asymmetricals here in the arms poking out, if I can call it that. Now to go back to the center. This is why I didn't like the other stitch hider, because you kind of like have to trail out to one side and then trail your way back. And for me, not liking to turn around my project, that's no fun. But hey, I can use half pinch stitches, as I call them, to do what I want to do. But it's a kind of asymmetrical but still symmetrical snowflake, so it's still like, I like it, like it's cool. And then trailing back with half pin stitches all over the place. To get it to look nice. There, I think this snowflake is also done. Yes. No. Yes, no. So this one has 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, that direction. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, it's done. It's so asymmetrical while being symmetrical. It's hard to see if it's correct. It's a very special kind of snowflake. I think I want to start getting looks like he isn't done yet with making all the noise. If this continues, I will just have to mute the video because I can't keep. Okay, I think he is going to be silent now, so I can unmute the video because it was real annoying for a couple of minutes there. Like you didn't even notice how long it was because a lot of the time I would stop the video for pause the video for 3 or 4 minutes before starting again, and at the end there I even had to just stop mid-sentence that I would have to just mute and stitch because it was so noisy. So, but that's just thing I can't control. Like I try to film at good times. Like now it's pretty late in the day, but because we have such a hot weather, I think he the neighbor didn't want to work while the sun was up or something. So instead, he's working now when it's almost bedtime for the kids. So I'm guessing I'm not the only one not happy with this. Because if he keeps going like this for like half an hour, then kids will be sleeping. And I can already hear in the neighborhood kids are crying because some of the smallest one is already put to bed by now. It's 6 p.m. and that's like the time where people start putting children to bed, like babies and stuff is usually put to bed around 6 p.m. and kindergarten and the first 4 year of school, you usually put them to bed around 7 p.m. and then 8 p.m. to the ones that are a little bit older. So yeah, I can imagine him. He is not going to be a popular guy today. All right, let's get to specialty floss. And I usually have it like this. They are either pre-cut or have like a loop. So I will just cut the loop at the ends. So they're all just non-looped at the end there, wrapped around the card. The ones I'm working with is right here. The ones that I have worked with but stopped earlier, and it's enough that I want to keep it so I can get a few more stitches out of it. I usually put to the side. So this one is done like with how you would pull the floss and put them together when it's variegated floss. So I can just go ahead, take that one, put it on my needle, and it's okay to start working with because the variegation will match up since it's already been matched up when taking off the floss card. So, counting again. One question, do you think this view of stitching is too far away? Like you want it to be closer up, or is this view better, like you can see more? Let me know. So yeah. For now, I will zoom you in like I usually do. Try and get you nice and close. And stitch. So, a while back, before the break in the videos, I asked what people liked when it comes to me talking and stitching, or having no talking and just music. And most of you wanted to listen to me talk. So that's what we're going with. That's why I also, when the neighbors started working, I didn't want to completely just turn off and go over to no sound. So instead I will have just muted and not worry about putting music in instead. So yeah. I didn't want to travel with this floss too long on the back because I'm afraid it will show through. So that's why I'm going down just a few stitches and starting the floss over again. It might have been okay to just trail, but if I'm insecure of how it will look and I'm in a mood where I don't mind starting and stopping too much, doing those fiddly things, then I will usually do it. Start and stop just to be sure. If I'm in a mood where I'm tired of all the fiddly stuff, I would have most likely tried to jump down, start stitching, and see if it worked out okay or not. So that's just the way I am. So yeah, he started to make noise again. That's why it got so quiet. So I would just keep doing that, and I hope when I'm gonna say goodbye, I will be able to say goodbye and he not making any more noise. I hope it's not too bad of a sound for you. Like I am going to mute most of it, but some of it I'm talking while he's starting to sew, so that makes it hard to cut out. So, yeah. But on the other hand, you haven't been able to see what I'm doing. Way! So, okay, this is starting to get really bad, and he's only getting worse and worse with how long he's using the motorized saw each time he's using it. So I am guessing it's time to say goodbye before he starts up again, because last time I actually had to pause the video now because it was so long without me being able to talk, and it's very draining for me mentally and physically, because my body isn't that strong right now, so my illness reacts very badly to those kinds of sounds, making it hard for me to concentrate and talk. So I'm gonna park that floss right there and say goodbye. Luckily we got to the tree. It's not too bad of a length on the video. So I hope you have a great day, a wonderful Friday. I hope I will be able to come back to you soon, but with my neighbor now ruining my filming night, it might be a while until you see me next. I hope it isn't so, but we'll just see. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the future, because I will be back.